Hey everybody, it's Kelly the Hammy Mama. Thank you all for watching Surviving Parenthood, and this week's topic is on your thoughts about parenting versus the actual reality of parenting. If you guys are just watching me for the first time, just give you a little bit of background. My son Eli, is 20. He just turned 22 months old, and my daughter Eden is 7 months old. So I'm only 2 years into this parenting thing, but this is what's going on. My thoughts about what it was going to be like when I was first pregnant with my son. The main thing that was really different than what I thought was going to happen was surrounding the birth and everything, because that was like totally different. I was all set. I was gonna have a natural birth. I was gonna, I just had this idea in my mind of how everything was gonna be. Everything was the reality of it was completely opposite. So that whole thing kind of taught me a lesson not to have, or at least limit your preconceived ideas of how things are going to be, because it just completely blew my mind that, from wanting this natural birth experience and to having 83-hour labor, unmedicated, up until the last 4 hours, which I had to have an emergency C-section. So, I went through all of this, had to have a C-section. I mean, thank goodness everything's fine. My son's fine, I'm fine. But, ended up with like PTSD from the trauma of all of it, and had this whole plan of how I was going to breastfeed the kids, and couldn't do that because I don't have milk glands at all. So, I mean, maybe one or two. But that didn't work out for me. And it's just like every single thing I wanted and planned and believed and in my mind was completely different. So that kind of taught me early on that not to have those preconceived ideas. Of course you're gonna have them, and the main things are like you just don't realize before they get here how tired you're gonna be. You're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be tired. Yeah, well, whoopie-doo. But how tired am I really gonna be? Well, zombie level. Like, it's gonna be crazy. You're gonna be crazy tired. You're not even gonna understand how tired you're gonna be until it happens. You have in your mind, like, you read the books, you see TV shows, you hear from other people how you're just gonna instantly fall in love with your kids. It's just instant. As soon as they're born, you just fall in love. Well, that didn't happen either, and that was probably the biggest shock of my life, because I never read it in a book that this could happen. I didn't know. No one ever told me that it's actually normal. It's just people don't talk about it. But I did not fall completely. I mean, I love them because they're my kids, but like, especially with Eli, with all the trauma that I went through in the C-section, I felt terrified of him. Like, he was in the NICU, so I didn't really get much bonding time with him, like physically. It just really blew my mind that I didn't know what was going on, I was going through postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety, and so, and then come to find out my husband was kind of going through the same thing with the bonding, and he had issues with it too, and so we worked through it. Of course, there's no problem now, And it was kind of the same with my daughter, although it was a planned C-section. I wanted a VBAC. That was another thing that didn't go my way, and that reality was a lot different than how I thought it was going to go. But you know what? I was better with that than the first time, because I didn't have to go through all that trauma. So I bonded a little bit faster with her. My son, it was just so hard, and obviously now there's no problem. But and that also goes along with this other thought versus reality, in that you're gonna love your kids, but you just don't know how much until they're actually here. And like now, it's almost at a cellular level. Like with every fiber of your being, you just love it. And until they're here and you experience it, you like someone can tell you all day long, oh, you're just gonna love your kids. Oh yeah. But it's just amazing, like how much you would just die for your kids. It's crazy. I don't think I've experienced this yet, but I know I will. Where you say, oh, I'm not going to be that kind of mom. I'm not going to do that. And then the situation, well, I kind of did that with food because I always thought, oh yeah, you know, my kids are going to eat so well, and you know, I'm not going to feed them what they want just to give them what they want. But I have done that with my son because he just simply won't eat. And I mean, I'm not giving him like junk food and stuff like that, but you know, I give him the graham crackers and the banana, and you know, but it's just crazy how you say you're not going to do something and in your mind you're like, oh, I'll never do that, and then the situation comes up and you're like, okay, I'm doing it. So the biggest lesson in my whole life is never say never. Like I used to say that when I was younger, oh, I'm never going to do this, I'm never going to do that, but I have learned time and time again through many situations never to say never, because you just don't know. Sorry about all the noise, guys. I can't do this during their nap, so my husband and I are watching church today. So anyway, I think I can't really think of anything else. I mean, I'm fairly new to all of this, so I'm sure I'm gonna, you know, I have many years ahead of me of my reality versus my thoughts about things being different. So, but so far, that's what I have, and I can't wait to hear everybody else's thoughts on this subject. If you have any of your own, put them down in the comments. I'd love to read them. Okay. So again, thank you so much for watching Surviving Parenthood. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and also subscribe to my channel, Hammy Mama. Thanks again, and God bless.